The My Hero Academia Vigilantes official main trailer just dropped, giving us more villains, the official opening, Captain Celebrity, and so much more. So of course, let's get into breaking down the entire trailer. The trailer starts with Koichi in the alley, determined to stop Soga, the villain he ends up tackling. As he says, "I'm the guy who can't ignore people in need, aka nice guy," and we then see a shot of Koichi sliding through the streets. The reason Koichi calls himself nice guy is because very early on in the series, he goes by Nice Guy as his vigilante name. Thankfully, the name does get dropped super early, so he won't be going by Nice Guy for too long. Following this, Knuckle Duster states that he will make Koichi a hero, with the scene having nothing to do with what he just said, taking place right at the end of his fight with Aizawa. Popstep is then shown performing on the street, and we see her telling Koichi why would he get involved in something like that, referring to him actually working with Knuckle Duster. Transition to Koichi's apartment, which simultaneously ends up becoming the Vigilante crew's hangout spot, as Koichi stares at Popstep drying her hair in his apartment and Knuckle Duster drinking while watching baseball on his TV, and says this isn't exactly the college life I pictured. Popstep throws a fit as Knuckle Duster smokes in the background while watching TV, and Koichi looks to be absolutely over it. Koichi here also has a hoodie with the word Astro on it, which is a deep cut reference to Horikoshi's previous manga that came out before My Hero Academia called Barrage, that followed the main protagonist Astro, who also should be making a cameo appearance in My Hero Academia's final season. But despite their problems with each other, Koichi doesn't think his college life isn't so bad, as he enjoys Popstep and Knuckle Duster's company. The Vigilantes of Naruhata stand on top of a building in front of the moon, and in all of his excitement, Koichi announces that we are men who never hesitate to support the pursuit of justice, Knuckle Duster and the Crawler. As he says this, we see Popstep bouncing and Knuckle Duster running off the top of a building and using his grappling hook to swing off the building as they all run off into the city, with Popstep turning around telling the pro hero Ingenium that she isn't a part of their vigilante crew. In an alley, Knuckle Duster says that he's looking for a drug that's circulating through the city. That drug we will come to know as Trigger, which played a major role in both the Shiei Hasaikai arc and the World Heroes Mission movie in the future of My Hero Academia, as the entirety of Vigilantes takes place before the start of My Hero Academia and Deku's journey. Walking down a different alley, we see the villain Queen Bee, aka Kuin Hachisuka, as we see her bees all containing vials with stingers filled with the drug Knuckle Duster is looking for, as she states, "It's my job to send my little ones out packed with their special juices to get the city buzzing," and we see a swarm of bees coming out of her left eye. She injects a man with a few shots of Trigger. Her bees fly through the city as the Trigger enters into the man's bloodstream, causing him to become an instant villain. Knuckle Duster explains that the drug he's looking for is a drug that boosts quirks, turning regular people into villains. A massive explosion erupts in the city at night, causing two cars to crash, and from the flames we see the instant villain as civilians run and Knuckle Duster prepares to fight him. Queen Bee sits atop of a steel beam above another vigilante named Stendhal, a very important character in the My Hero Academia universe. It's then stated that vigilantes really come in handy for us, as we see the series' main antagonist, number 6, standing in an alley. Koichi jumps into action, telling someone to stop right there, and Koichi tries to do a heroic pose as he tries to introduce himself, but is cut off by Popstep saying his name is Mr. Know Your Place, keeping Koichi in check as he isn't a pro hero, and Koichi says try again, but the two students he introduces himself to mistake his hero name for the Crawler. These two students being Jubei Namemaru and Ichimoku Samazu, who are both references to Wolverine and Cyclops from Marvel's X-Men. At his home, Koichi gets frustrated frustrated with the mistake as his hero name is the Crawler. The opening for the anime begins to play and is called Keka Orai by Koichi no Kento, and it sounds like a complete banger as Koichi slides into a superhero pose, Knuckle Duster is ready to fight, Pop Step does her thing with her microphone, and Koichi sliding away. For a split second you can see what looks to be a communication device in Koichi's ear, and after this Knuckle Duster is shown fighting the trigger-filled instant villain in the middle of the street and landing a powerful blow on the villain. Pop Step looks down from atop of a building and the pro hero Ingenium springs into action on the highway. Vigilantes definitely not holding back on Tensei's animations, showing us why Ida looked up to his older brother so much. Aizawa does a flip in the air as he fights Knuckle Duster, Ingenium boosts down the highway, and we see Endeavor in his alpha costume running alongside Midnight and Snipe. Captain Celebrity finally gets his big anime debut in the trailer as he flies towards this Godzilla-inspired villain. Captain Celebrity being a hero that left America to come to Japan, similar to how All Might had once left Japan to go to America. Though Captain Celebrity's reason for leaving was due to a scandal, unlike All Might's reason for leaving being that he was being hunted down by All for One. Makoto Tsukauchi also makes her appearance in the trailer, who is Detective Tsukauchi's little sister. Knuckle Duster and Stendhal fight, and I believe Aizawa is the one that says, are they the so-called instant villains that are all the rage? During the instant villain fight, Koichi and Pop move into action as Knuckle Duster fights the instant villain. In a reference to the All Might versus All for One fight in Kamino, Knuckle Duster dodges the instant villain's attack exactly how All Might did when fighting All for One. Aizawa is shown using Eraser. We get a full-on shot of Soga creating spikes in between his knuckles similar to Wolverine and his claws as he says, screw the drugs. Queen Bee looks on excited to see the Vigilantes fight, and Stendhal takes out his sword and he is shown through his mask smiling as he is covered in blood, revealing that Stendhal is a villain. Koichi slides towards some cars and Knuckle Duster gears up for a punch. Ingenium runs full speed down the highway as we see the inside of Tensei's helmet is extremely high-tech, displaying a HUD for him. Koichi states that he wants to fly even if it's just for a moment, and Koichi jumps off of the ground. Ingenium is then shown reaching out to save someone, with Pop Step stating, for me you've always been a true hero, as she is shown jumping off away in the night in her civilian clothes holding onto a bag. Koichi lands on the side of a building as Pop Step yells out to him. Koichi states, I'll make up for what I lack by accelerating with all my might, and Koichi glides up the building, launching off of it to save Pop Step from falling out of the sky. And the trailer ends with Koichi looking stressed as he ends off the trailer saying the Crawler's true identity needs to stay a secret, but I have to show off just a little. Finally ending the trailer with our heroes going off into the sunset. Now this trailer was incredible, and one of the most exciting aspects of Vigilantes that I'm glad gets highlighted in the trailer is the fact that they have to keep their identities a secret, which despite my love for the mainline series is something that I felt was missing from My Hero Academia. So I can't wait to see how Vigilantes expands on the world of My Hero Academia and Vigilantes needing to maintain a secret identity in the modern world of Hero Society. Let me know in the comment section below your thoughts on the official main trailer for the My Hero Academia Vigilantes anime. If you enjoyed the video, then be sure to Detroit smash that like button, and if you are new to the Kiroki channel, then be sure to subscribe with notifications on so that you don't miss any My Hero Academia and My Hero Academia Vigilantes content. And I'll see you all in the next one.